Hello, 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 hello. How is it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Hope everyone's having a damn freaking fantastic. What day is it even today? Oh gosh, Wednesday. Hope everyone's having a fantastic Wednesday. Hope everyone's doing great. Had a fantastic time. Everyone's not too exhausted after a hard, long day. But today, of course, it's still Arsenal. It's still daily Arsenal, of course. And today we have quite some interesting stuff to talk about. A bit off topic, but Manchester City just have been charged with 2 million, I think it was 2.09 million for delaying kickoffs in 22 occasions over the last 2 years. So slowly the cogs are starting to turn in the system by the looks of things. Whether it's kind of connected to 115, who knows? But it is what it is. City have been charged. But for Arsenal, it's, well, business as usual. Mind you, it's slow business as usual, to be honest, because Josh Kroenke has been interviewed. He has talked about expanding Emirates. We're going to talk a bit about that. He has talked about transfers. He has talked about the title race, taking over Arsenal. And of course, Arsenal transfers. All that stuff we're gonna talk about today, because transfers are still happening very slowly, but they are. They are, but they're very slow, of course, knowing Arsenal. So we're definitely gonna get into that. Yeah, AFC are world champions in the PR Olympics. Yeah, you could say that. You genuinely could say that. So that is the thing. Now, first things first. Thiav for Newcastle, I generally believe could be a good signing. If he fits into Premier League properly, I really think Thiav could actually do at Newcastle and in Premier League in general. You need a deeper squad with the injuries you had, with Cher being older and injury prone and everything, Botman as well. Definitely believe that Thiav could actually be a very good signing. Not sure how. Jonathan David, if it happens, it happens. Rest of them, not gonna lie, I have no idea. Nicolas Gonzalez, it might be from Fiorentina, maybe that's the guy. Haven't seen him play, so I don't know. But big up Adjeri, big up, big up, big up. Charles Kappa Watts, the Kappa Watts, has rubbished the idea of expanding the Emirates. Really? He has thrown it in the bin, because it's been talked about quite a bit. Genuinely, Josh Kroenke has been interviewed about expanding the Emirates. How has he rubbished that? I haven't seen Kappa Watts talk about it. Genuinely, I haven't seen it at all whatsoever. But enough about Jibba Jabba, let's get straight into it. And we're gonna kick things off with some transfers, of course. Then we're gonna get into Josh Kroenke and Kroenkes in general, and how pathetic we have been in this transfer window. But that is the case as always. Anyhow, first things first. This came out late last night. Arsenal have reached an agreement on personal terms on a 4-year deal with Mikel Merino. The next step will be to find agreement with Real Sociedad. That is according to Sport Zone. It came out actually few hours later, as soon as it got announced that Emil Smith-Rowe is doing medicals at Fulham. So I think, as well as it was said all the time, as soon as midfielder leaves, Arsenal will sign a midfielder, and by the looks of things, it actually will be Mikel Merino. In other news, Ornstein said that Marseille have made an improved second bid for Edin Nketiah, nearing 20 million. Similar to previous, but closer to formula Arsenal want. They assume about 17 million plus 3 million in add-ons, something weird like that. Likely to be deemed unrealistic, but talks are ongoing. Plus, 5-year contract is agreed, so personal terms between Edin Nketiah and Marseille are not a problem, by the looks of things. The big thing is striking a proper deal, because there are other reports coming out that Arsenal want about 25 million. We're gonna talk about that in a second as well. This came out of nowhere. Arsenal wanted Bernal. Not gonna lie, never seen him play for Barcelona youngsters, for Barcelona elders, or anyone. Apparently Mikel Arteta was very interested. We all know how very interested Mikel Arteta is in things, according to journalists, ITKs, and all wannabe journalists, that he is interested in about 150 players in this transfer window, and we have signed only one. So it is what it is, but apparently Flick has convinced him to stay at Barcelona, so we're not going to talk about it too much, but allegedly he is deemed to be the next Sergio Busquets, by the way. Next Sergio Busquets. Just say that. Here is the big one. The big one. According to a guy we talked about yesterday, about the Patreon, Mystery German and everything, but Mikel Arteta's contract extension is taking a little longer than expected because it is a big deal. Is the big deal money-wise? Is the big deal in general? To be honest, it's in both instances because with him approaching the highest salary for coach in the Premier League, if not the highest. So basically, Arsenal want to allegedly extend Arteta's contract. That has been rumored for about half a year now, or so, since the rumors started about that he might replace Xavi at Barcelona, which every single Barcelona fan I've known and seen has laughed in Arsenal's fans' faces, saying they don't want Arteta whatsoever. So that is cool. Been rumored he might replace Pep, but Pep is staying most likely, as he has said himself, so that is cool as well. And everything, but if he becomes the highest paid manager in Premier League, what are you rewarding him for? 5 years in charge, almost 5 years, 4.5 years, nearing 5. He has won one Emirates Cup, FA Cup, with a squad that wasn't his. Then you have given him nearly 700 million, 4 years in charge, and he has done pretty much nothing with it. We challenge City, that is cool, but where's the trophy? Where is even Carabao Cup, FA Cup, anything? Where is it? You basically, in this instance, are rewarding him for failing at this stage. His contract runs out in June 30th, 2025. Personally, I would wait till like March, till at least Carabao Cup is over. We know where we stand in Champions League and what Premier League looks like, if we're challenging or not, and what is happening with the FA Cup, and if we haven't gone out in the third or fourth round again in the third year or fourth year in a row. Because at the moment, new contract for Mikel Arteta means he can keep failing. Arsenal are getting now top 4 2 years in a row. It looks like we might get it consistently now, and that is what Kroenkes want. They're happy with it. Because every single other team they own, Colorado Rapids, Colorado Avalanche, Denver Nuggets, have won titles and championships. LA Rams, mind you, even as well. Only team that are under Kroenkes and has won genuinely nothing is Arsenal. And if he becomes one of the highest paid, if not the highest paid manager in Premier League, in an instance means you're affording failure in this way. He should have been sacked 2 years ago, by the way. He said himself that in summer, he was contemplating resigning as an Arsenal manager. And then he gets a new contract, and now he might get another contract, and since then he has done again nothing. How can anyone justify this? Like, with common sense, how can you get salary increase year in, year out, almost every single season? It will be like his third or some second extension, I think, or third even. And you have won nothing. It's football, it's sport. Success is measured by trophies, by merits, and massive achievements. Not, we finished 2 points behind City, we are back in top 4. Whoa, we signed Declan Rice, and all that stuff. Genuinely. How can you do this? Not to mention, we have sold Aubameyang and it's been 4 years and we still haven't bought a new striker to replace him. This is genuinely the biggest mystery for me at the moment whatsoever. Here it is. Here is one of the things I wanted to talk about. Josh Kroenke. We are getting into it and we're gonna talk about it, and I don't care whether you like it or not, whether you agree or disagree. But here it is, first part of Josh Kroenke. A few weeks ago, in response to a comment from a subscriber, he said that it's virtually impossible due to agreement with the council at the time we moved into the Emirates. It might be the case, but they are talking about potentially expanding Emirates. We're gonna look at this, how Kroenke envisions it. It might be due to the fact that they need to maybe pay off the debt, or they need to do something rather, or they need to make an agreement. But you know, Josh and Stan are proper politicians. They know how to move the goalposts, and if they need to do something, they will get it done. If it means they will get more money at the end. So I wouldn't put it past it. Just slip them a brown envelope and government will look the other way. It generally might be this case. I'm not saying it will, or it might. I'm not saying they're dirty or anything. But many times when government looks the other way, it's usually some brown envelope action happening. Usually. But it is what it is. Anyways, back on Josh Kroenke. Arsenal owner Josh Kroenke, by the way, Josh is owning Arsenal, not Stan. Well, Stan bought it, but full ownership belongs to Josh because Compared to Stan likes only his American side of the teams because they're winning and he's putting billions in there. Joss is actually the one who actually cares about Arsenal, by the looks of things, obviously. And I wouldn't put it past it that he actually cares about Arsenal. I generally wouldn't put it past it because you kind of don't give that much money and maybe don't act like you do, for an instance, if you don't care about the club. He definitely cares, but to what kind of a degree he cares, that's the big thing here. But Josh Kroenke has vowed to oppose taking Premier League matches to America, despite huge offers from USA broadcasters. However, FIFA is ready to endorse the plan. Just imagine how much money, technically, just think about it, USA or the teams that are playing those games could make. Imagine, for example, random game, not Spurs, they're useless. City versus Arsenal, let's take the prime example at the moment. They play arguably one of the title-deciding matches in Premier League in SoFi Stadium, I don't know, Yankee Stadium, wherever they play it. Okay, Yankees is baseball, but you get what I mean. They play wherever. Imagine the revenue. Each team would get 300-400 million, the revenue would skyrocket, and it actually would make more money, arguably, than half of the games we play in Premier League and we get the money for. That is the big thing. It's all about the money. It's always all about the money in these instances. But I'm completely against this. Because how does it mean? For example, they decide to play FA Cup final in USA. For the sake of an argument. For the sake of an argument, Arsenal make it to the FA Cup final. You as a fan go to every single Arsenal home game or FA Cup game, for example, right? And the game that matters the most, the final, is 3,000 miles away on the other side of the ocean and you instantly can't go. You have to stay up till 3 a.m. to watch one game. This is low-key, for the club that is actually based in UK, a spit in the face of the fans in the UK who actually have been lifelong Arsenal fans in an instance. Genuinely. It is a spit in the face. So, I know that it might be just a PR move to say it's never gonna happen, but I think they have seen what Super League did, how everyone went in an uproar. And that maybe Josh Kroenke has realized that there are certain things you genuinely don't mess with. And this might be one of those things, actually. And apparently he has vowed to oppose taking Premier League matches to America despite the offers from US broadcasters. And that is something, as an Arsenal fan, I absolutely love to hear. Genuinely. Because personally, I'm an Arsenal fan for 22 years now. 22, almost 23, right? I have never seen Arsenal live because from where I live, because of the money I make, and I have actually no time to go. But in an instance, yeah? Because the time I get off is in summer, and in the summer there are no games. And all, basically you get what I mean, right? And the travel costs are exorbitant for me to fly to the UK and anywhere where Arsenal play. But I just think of the perspective of other Arsenal fans who get to go to games, who want to go to games. It's a bit different. And that, if this is true, fully, wholeheartedly true, I'm in full support of Josh Kroenke here. I'm not gonna lie. It would need brown envelopes to expand Emirates. Most likely, yeah, genuinely. To expand Emirates, you genuinely would need actually some brown envelopes to start doing something here. To actually move the goalposts in this instance, genuinely. I said that I would stop watching football if this... You would stop watching football if certain games of, let's just not say Premier League, but certain cup games, for example, would be played in the US, right? Yeah, same as me started supporting Arsenal in 2002. Exactly, see? But that's the thing. Imagine you go to every single Arsenal game in the cups and the final, that the game that matters the most, gets yanked from you from under your nose. It's just not a good look. In pre-season, you can go to the US and play there. Mind you, I would love for Arsenal not only to play preseason games solely in the US. Yes, we have USA owners. Big part of Premier League has USA owners. And usually the teams that play in the USA have the USA owners. I get it. I all get it. It's PR. It's your thing. You do it. But for instance, the times, for example, you go to Japan for preseason games. Arsenal have visit, what this, see? Visit Rwanda. Right here written. Visit Rwanda. Are they visiting Rwanda? Are they playing a game there? No, of course they're not. But because it's not the money, it's not the revenue. But for some time, I generally would love for Arsenal to do let's just say, random charity game where all the profits are donated, for example, to Rwandans or to some sort of charity of their choice that is in the country they are playing at. Genuinely, I would love that for in Japan, in Korea, in, I don't know, South Africa, in Nigeria. We have massive African fan base. Saka is Nigerian. We have Thomas Partey. We have lots of players with roots from America. You can go to Africa, sorry, not America, Africa. You can go to South Africa even play. But now Arsenal only go to the USA. I'm utterly against playing any competitive domestic games outside of the UK, and I've not been a regular goer to games since 2013. Yes, and I understand that. Fully. I fully understand why teams that are solely based and have whole lives spent in one certain place and the fans are against going there. Because that would be, for example, like me, right? I don't live in that big of a country, right? Going to the furthest, I live in the center of my country, in my capital, so I'm kinda in the middle of all the big cities where usually things happen, but it's still 3-4 hour drive in one direction, right? And if my team, for example, I don't support any of my local clubs, by the way. I used to, but the club went bankrupt and I have never supported a club since. I just support football in general. But if they went, let's just say, 4 hours away in one of the other biggest cities in my country, and if they relocated, there's no chance in hell I'm going to any of those games. No chance in hell. I might be a lifelong fan, but there's no chance I'm going. Because the drive, because everything. And it's not the same. Yes, one odd game here or there, okay, cool. But if they relocate and they play now the important games there, that decide the titles, decide the winnings, decide the cups, decide something, and it's pretty much solely based because of the money revenue you get from that. No thanks. I lose a lot of respect towards the owners, players, club, and in general. Maybe less a bit for players because they are just employed and they need to do what it's said for them. But they also can go on strike or something like that. Let's just say for the sake of an argument. But it is what it is at the end of the day. But apparently Josh Kroenke is vowed that he is fully opposed taking Premier League matches to the USA. And no matter what that means, whether he said it just for PR or he genuinely meant it from the bottom of his heart, I'm absolutely for it. I'm absolutely for no league matches from Premier League, even cup matches, being played in other countries. Okay, Wales, that's a different thing because that's a bit different. But going to abroad, to different countries across the ocean or anything, that is not happening ever. I never want to see that. Although football, sadly, is moving in that direction actually. Isn't it La Liga as well that sometimes in Clasico is happening in Saudi Arabia or something like that? Isn't that the case already? Some of the La Liga games are being played outside Spain. I think something like that is happening. Olympique Marseille keep moving on a bit until we get back to Josh Kroenke. I like this dynamism actually in this, so we don't just talk solely about Josh Kroenke. We actually move to some transfers, then we again take a reset and talk about Kroenke's different topics. Nketiah says yes to Olympique Marseille project, but there's still no agreement for Arsenal on the fee. And that is pretty much the main thing. And we move back to Josh Kroenke. That's the thing. But I think there are some La Liga games, or is it Copa del Rey or something like that, is being played in Saudi. I've seen it, genuinely. Wait, just check it. Yeah, see? For example, Sky Sports, don't copyright strike me. Genuinely, but yeah. Here it is. That was 2 years ago. Match reports finished blah blah blah. Madrid twice pegged back to Luke de Jong and Ansu Fati, but spirited Barca fell short. Atletico Madrid or Atletico Bilbao await in Sunday's final in Riyadh. They have played Copa del Rey Spanish Super Cup outside of Spain in Riyadh. Yeah, I knew I had seen it somewhere, genuinely. There are games in La Liga that are not La Liga, but the Cup that are happening outside of Spain already. I knew I'd seen it somewhere. Anyways, back to Josh Kroenke, the main guy who has been spoken about, who has been interviewed and everything. Chairman Josh Kroenke confirmed that KSC will continue to support Arsenal to overcome the lack of momentum as at the end of the last season. So what he had to say? Basically, we are talking about this fella, Josh Kroenke. Looks like a supermodel here, by the way. We seem to have fallen behind. You could see there was something we couldn't understand at the end of the last season, which was the weight of the title race, and we also had a few injuries. Let's be real. Injuries, right? Tomiyasu, Zinchenko, Jesus, and Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey had just came back. So at the end of the day, injuries that Arsenal had were insignificant, because Arsenal pretty much spent the whole season without those players, more or less. Tomiyasu played here or there, okay. Jesus came back, got injured instantly. Partey was injured throughout the whole season. Zinchenko, well, he's a hole in defense, so he got yanked off quite instantly also very, very soon. So basically we had the whole starting 11 pretty much fit, and the closest reserves as well. So you can't use the injury excuse last season. Next season, when most likely someone will get injured, then you can start maybe trying to push that narrative, but don't do it, because you're gonna fall short once again. The thing is, there was something we couldn't understand at the end of the season, which was the weight of the... Something you couldn't understand. Really. Really. Because every single Arsenal fan in the world understands that you need depth in the team, you need proper subs, you don't need to waste 65 million on Kai Havertz, but you need to sign a proper number 9, which you still haven't done, by the way. And you need proper backup for Bukayo Saka. So players like Saliba don't play every single Premier League game from bell to bell, not to mention overall play about 60 to 70 games a season just for Arsenal, then goes to Euros or World Cup or wherever he goes and plays extra 10 games. He doesn't need 70 plus games. Because remember, 2 years ago it was, I think it was 2 years ago, Pedri. He played throughout the whole season 74 games. La Liga Cup for Spain, and I think it was in under 20 Euros or something weird, like very young youngsters, I think. He played 74 games throughout the whole year, calendar year. 74 games. Genuinely. And then what happened? He got a week or two off. He went back to Barcelona, and 2 weeks later, in shocking display of things, he got injured and was out for 2 months. That's why you need backup. That's why you need depth. That's why you need to manage your squad. Something you couldn't understand. There's nothing not to understand. You need a proper squad, not just maybe 10 players and then throw in player on occasion randomly in. Maybe play your youth players on occasion, not overplay your big guys. It's embarrassing, I'm not gonna lie. Last season I thought this group of players were ready, but we still couldn't get our hands on the championship. Well, they were ready. They were not ready. How can you be ready when half of your squad is players that need to get sold instantly? Well, not half per se, but let's just say 6 of your players need to get sold. Your bench needs to get yanked off. You extend contracts of El Neni, Cedric, El Nelson, who else is there? Nketiah, put them on 100 grand a week. You don't see that they're not good enough? You genuinely don't see that? And you think those players are good enough to come as subs on in Champions League against Bayern Munich, Porto, in Premier League against City, even Liverpool, mind you, I'm not discrediting them, or maybe Newcastle or Aston Villa, and change the game instantly. There's a reason why they sit on the bench. There is a reason why they don't play more than 10 games a season. They're not good enough. And you think you were ready? Hello? Earth to USA. Earth to Kroenkes. Earth to Josh. Hello? Think about it. However, I firmly believe that this club is ready to compete for the championship, and we will continue to bring in talented players to help the club move up the table and for the fans to celebrate the titles. So, bring in the talented players. So where are they? Where are the talented players you are talking about here? We're gonna continue. Because in this window we have signed only Calafiori. We have made the best defense in the league a bit deeper. Okay, cool. Where are the rest of the players? We will continue to bring in talented players. We are the midfielders. We are the attackers. Where is the freaking striker we've been begging for since you sold Aubameyang 4 years ago? Where is the striker, man? Where's the backup for Bukayo Saka? Where is the replacement for quote-unquote Granit Xhaka, who even yesterday took dig at Arsenal? Where's the backup for Thomas Partey, who is injured 90% of the season? Where are they? Signed talented players. So where are they? Where are our players who you protect their value? Where they're getting sold? They're still here, every single one. More or less. Lokonga went out on loan with option to buy. Option to buy. Or no, obligation to buy. Nuno Tavares went out with obligation to buy. Got injured in the first 20 minutes of Lazio training. Instantly got injured. Nketiah is still here. You're asking for 30 million or something like, or 40 million even. I think 30 now. Genuinely. Nelson is still here. Zinchenko is still here. Mind you, Ramsdale is still here. So where are these talented players you're promising to sign if you can't get even rid of the players you need to get rid of? But it's to protect their value. Where is the value if no one in the world wants them? What value is that? Warming the bench, bringing the towels, washing the car, waxing the car? Painting your house, or what? Genuinely, where is the talent then? It just makes no sense at times. Genuinely, makes no sense. Mind you, in the beginning of the window, Ramsdale 50 million, Nelson 35 million, ESR 35-40 million, Nketiah 50 million. We sold ESR for 27 plus 7, okay, 34 combined. Okay, cool. It took us, what, 2 months? Then, after these 2 months, we sell ESR, someone has told Edu, you know, dumbass, maybe you should lower the price from 50 million for Eddie to about 30. What he does, he lowers to 40. Now we hear he wants 30. Same goes with Ramsdale. Price is at 50 million. All of a sudden it drops down to 30 million. Hello, in which universe you are thinking selling Nketiah for 50 million? In which universe you are willing to sell Ramsdale for 50 million? Because you have shown the whole world since last year you don't rate them. They sat on the bench almost throughout the whole season. Nketiah scored like 4 goals, got 2 assists in 27 games. Didn't play that much, pretty much 27 games. He played, but mostly as a sub. Ramsdale played about 8 games throughout the whole season. You didn't play him enough to show his potential. So how do you expect get 50 million from either of those? They're not good enough. Last year you could have sold Ramsdale for 50 million when you just signed Raya. Then it would have made sense because Ramsdale was deemed the most expensive goalkeeper in the world. Then it would have made sense. Now there are no takers. Every single club where Ramsdale could have become a goalkeeper. You may think your Newcastle's, Chelsea's, whatever team you name, more or less, let's be real. He could have gone there. Now, 1 year later, you've shown the world that he's not good. You don't rate him. You don't want to play him. He said in an interview he cannot focus for the full 90. And at the end of the day, now you have to drop his price from 50 to 30 million. And still you don't have any takers. Maybe on loan. Maybe loan with obligation to buy if you get lucky at the moment. Like, we're doing things so as backwards. It makes no sense whatsoever. And the most embarrassing and pathetic thing overall for all of this, who is getting held accountable for this incompetence? Who is getting held accountable for this incompetence? Who is getting held accountable for this incompetence? No one. Legitimately no one. Maybe Josh has finally said to Edu something, because Arsenal usually sign and then try to sell. This summer, we are trying our hardest, compared to other years, let's be real, to sell fast and then sign. I genuinely believe Josh has gone to Edu and said, you know what? You either sell or you get no money. Because there's no other explanation why Arsenal all of a sudden are signing Calafiori for 2 months. They haven't signed Mikel Merino, who is deemed as an easy deal at the moment. We haven't signed a striker. Backup for Bukayo Saka, which we all could have done if we were operating like we did in previous years. Let's be real. Despite the Euros and all that crap you wanna use an excuse. We could have gotten Olise. We could have gotten Paulinho easily. But I think Josh has said, you are not getting any of my money, of my family's money, unless you sell. Because at the moment it genuinely feels that way. Because there hasn't been a proper window where Arsenal have been this desperate to sell their bench players before players coming in. And it's no coincidence that Calafiori somehow came in as soon as we technically sold 2 players. Now we're selling Emil Smith-Rowe, and all of a sudden Merino it looks like is gonna come in. If we sell Nketiah, it's no surprise someone else is gonna come in. Because Arsenal are not broke. I think genuinely Josh Kroenke has given Edu ultimatum to show him and prove him that he can actually make money. Yes, it will be with losses, but maybe get some money back. Mind you, selling Nketiah, selling Reece Nelson is pure profit because they're Helen graduates. Same goes for Emil Smith-Rowe. So there is no money lost there. Yes, on Nuno Tavares there might be. Yes, on Lokonga there might be. Yes, on Ramsdale there might be, or we're gonna break even more or less. But otherwise, it's pure profits at the end of the day. We are, and Raya, to be honest, we signed this summer as well fully, but he was here from last year. So I generally believe, strongly believe that Josh Kroenke has said to Edu, you sell or you get no money. And that's about it. Genuinely. Okay, some comments. I heard that AFTV guys got access to the Kroenke's AFC board and had long chat with them. Yeah. There was something like that. I saw some YouTube videos of AFTV randomly popped up for me that was saying there that there were videos about them meeting Josh Kroenke, them asking questions to Arteta and all that stuff. Genuinely, there were some videos about it. Obviously, they cannot show the whole things, but there were videos circulating on their YouTube channel and everything. I saw that, genuinely, yeah. Genuinely, I saw that for sure. There was something like that. And my camera has done a madness. I'm very sorry about this. Very, very sorry. Okay, we look better now. My camera also got pissed off at Arsenal and Edu. Anyways, moving on. I know that because I have won titles with other clubs that my family owns, and winning titles does not come easily. That's true, to be honest. Colorado Rapids, Colorado Avalanche, Denver Nuggets, all are champions. LA Rams. Who else is there? I think Kroenke also has a lacrosse team who has won something, won a title. So basically every single team they own in any other sport has won something. Except Arsenal. This is just insane, to be honest, because you see almost every year Stan dropping millions and billions into their LA Rams and signing Nikola Jokic on the biggest contracts in NBA history, playing Aaron Gordon insane amount of money, Jamal Murray insane amount of money, Colorado gets amount of money, Rapids as well. It's just, let's be real. Let's be real. It's all about the money. Ching ching bling bling with the cheddar, man. Anyways, winning at the highest level is always extremely difficult, and assembling a team to win titles year after year requires many different factors. Well, this is a straight up politician answer. Like, come on, man. We hear this every single time from Mikel Arteta with different words only. Oh, it was a difficult, not how it was. Oh, it's small margins that decide the title and everything. We have heard that. Just let's be real. Anyways, and this is the big part that really pissed me off. Because this sounds like Josh Kroenke is open to do things, and Mikel Arteta is putting a damper on things. They're pulling the emergency stop switch on certain aspects. It generally feels that way. This summer, Arsenal's motto in the transfer market will remain the same. Just like last year. We all know how it was last year. As long as coach Mikel Arteta likes it, the Kroenke family will move right away. And he's talking about transfers here. And he's saying, as long as Mikel Arteta likes some player, he likes things and he wants him, Kroenke family will move right away to try and get the money to get the deal done. Which is understandable, let's be real. With owners like that, it's fully understandable. Which now leads to the big question here. Does Arteta want anyone? Because we all the time hear Arteta is on fire for this player. Arteta is a big fan. Arteta is excited and all that stuff. But in the end, we sign no one. We get Calafiori and broccoli cauliflower soup. Now we're going for Mikel Merino, who's been said Mikel Arteta is on fire for. He's a big fan of. So arguably, the big question here is Mikel Arteta interested in a striker? A number 9, a proper number 9. Will Arsenal sign a proper number 9 this transfer window? That is the big question. Because signing number 9 pretty much resolves the wing issue, because you can play Jesus as a backup for Bukayo Saka. If you sign Merino and striker, it means you need to sign one more midfielder. Because in my opinion, we need to sign 2 midfielders, a striker, and you could say a winger. Now, if we sign the proper striker like number 9 as Isak, Gyökeres, Tony, yes, you could put an argument there to play Jesus at a wing. But Jesus is a bit injury prone, which means you would, in perfect world, would sign another winger. So technically, Arsenal need 4 signings, 2 midfielders, striker, and a winger. Especially since we are selling players, I don't think that is a hard job to pull off. There's 18 days in Premier League. We play Wolves at the Emirates in 18 days, and only thing we have done this transfer window is sign Calafiori, and that took us 1.5, nearly 2 months. Move! Do something! How you can sign one player in 1.5 months, and there's 2 weeks left pretty much till Premier League kicks off. It genuinely is scary hours, and this is time when Arsenal actually might do some panic buying. I don't want it. I don't want it to happen. I'm not suggesting it will happen, but it all is leading in that direction at the moment. Because we are moving so slow in transfer window in signing, not to mention selling, that it will the Premier League will be upon us sooner than you think, to be honest. It won't take long till Premier League kicks off and Arsenal have only cauliflower in their team. And that's it. 18 days for Mikel Arteta, Edu, to save the transfer window pretty much. Because it doesn't take us long time till we have to play the big guys in the Premier League. Mind you, we don't have time to bed in certain players. Because if we sign a player at the end of transfer window, it means another month or so until player gets bedded into the team, gets accustomed to it and everything. Which means that ship might have been sailed by then. Generally, it might sail us by because Arsenal's schedule for the start of the season is looking hella rough. I'm not gonna lie, it's looking hella rough if we don't sign proper players. Because we kick off things on August 17th against Wolves. Should be winning, but if we don't sign anyone, who knows. Then we play against Aston Villa at the Villa Park. We all know what happened last year when we played against Villa. Villa this summer window has signed 7 or 8 players. They're still looking to sign players, by the way. And Unai Emery has outdone Arteta pretty much every single time they have met. I don't even want to talk about the games against Villarreal in Europa League semi-finals. Let's be real. Then we come home against Brighton. Brighton have a new manager. They're actually balling in preseason, so who knows what kind of Brighton will turn up. And then bang. September 15th, we have North London derby at Spurs Stadium. Then in between, we have a Champions League game, and then we travel to Etihad to play Manchester City. Then we have a game, then we have Leicester, should be winning. Then we have game against Southampton, should be winning, but the last time Southampton were in Premier League, both times we drew and we lost. Just like last season we did against Fulham, which at the end of the time cost us the league. And that season when we drew and lost against Fulham, it cost us the league as well. We lost the league by 5 points. Then we lost 5 points there. Make it make sense. Then we have Bournemouth away, which definitely will be a tough game. And of course, then we have Liverpool at home, Newcastle away, Chelsea away. So genuinely in the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. In the first 11 games, we play every single top 6 side besides Manchester United. Genuinely, and the Manchester United game is 2 games away pretty much. Generally, in the first 11 games of the season, we play every single top 6 side, and on top of that, we play Villa and Newcastle. So basically, 6 out of 11 games are against teams that will finish most likely in top 5 in the league next season. Like, if we look in the future and based on last season, most likely we'll finish in top 5, top 6 of the league. We don't have time to wait till we sign a striker, a winger backup, midfielders, or another goalkeeper until the end of the transfer window. It shuts down in a month. Premier League kicks off in a bit more than 2 weeks. We don't have time. Genuinely. Because if we're gonna wait and drag this longer out than it has to be, we're screwed. We will be screwed. Because it will take some time for players to adjust to the team, adjust to the tactics, everything. Not to mention, we might get hit with an injury, and then the young player who we just signed instantly will have to go into the team. And God knows what's gonna happen then. Because it will be, give him time, he might stink out the place, he might hit the ground running, who knows? Even that player might get injured. Genuinely, in the first 11 games of Premier League, we play 6 sides that are pretending that gonna be in top 6 by the end of the season most likely. And the only team of the top 6 we don't play is Manchester United. Besides that, there's Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, Villa, Spurs, and Newcastle. It is scary times, and it is panic times, let's be real. It's genuine panic times at the moment. We have 18 days to sign at least 2 more players. Merino and a striker, in my opinion. We should sign a striker first and then go for a winger. But who knows what's gonna happen? Because it doesn't look like Arsenal are gonna make that it's gonna happen. And exactly, Ramba, when it makes sense, Arsenal won't do it. I generally should get that framed and put it behind me on the wall. Because that is how Arsenal are moving in the window. Oh, I made out of focus with that, son. Because that's how Arsenal are moving in the window, genuinely. And that is the scary part at the moment. 18 days, only Calafiori signed, no striker, no midfield, no backup for Saka, nothing. And that is what is scaring me at the moment. Because this season, if we don't get it right, will hit us like a rock. It might not be as glamorous. Everyone's already saying Arsenal and City will fight for the title. But if we don't get this window right, the first 11 games actually might show what is what. First 11 games is 1/3 of the season pretty much. And if we don't get it right then, we're instantly screwed. Few more draws than last season, more losses, and we're screwed instantly. Last season we had 5 losses only. Imagine if we lose 2-3 games in the beginning of the season. You pretty much can write off the season instantly. There's no argument about that. And that is what there's definitely those small margins at the moment that are really, really scary. And Arsenal are doing everything in the power, it feels like, to make it happen. Exactly. I've been focusing on the first 11. Not many Arsenal fans have clocked that our season could be done by then. And then in game week 14 we play Manchester United. Exactly. In the first 13-14 games of the season, we play all the top 6 sides. Plus we play Villa, we play Newcastle. We basically play every single team that there's a big chance is gonna finish in top 6. Basically, that's who we are playing. Last season Arsenal lost 5 games and drew, I think, also 5. No, not 5. I'm lying. Maybe it was 5. Wait, give me a sec. Let's check this. Last season, 23-24. Yeah, Arsenal won 28 games, drew 5, and lost 5. So genuinely, by the end of those 11 first or 14 games, it can be all done and dusted. We drawn 5 and lost 5. Small margins, and if we don't sign the proper players by the time we play the first game of the season, we're screwed. We're done, we're dusted, and we are all over the place and we are finished instantly. There's no questions about it. Exactly. Villa away, Spurs away, City away, Liverpool at home, Newcastle, Chelsea. And then after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, exactly 6 out of 11 first games are against top 6 basically teams that gonna go for it. 2 games later we play against Newcastle. Man United. Not to mention the fact, by the way, we have to play Brighton. They are under a new manager, and we don't know what kind of Brighton is gonna show up. Generally, we don't know that. We don't know what kind of Brighton is gonna turn up. That is also the big thing. 5 of those 6 big games are away. Exactly. They are also away games. Only home game is against Liverpool. We do well against Liverpool at home. That is the only thing that's kind of calming me. We play against Liverpool tomorrow. My time it's 2:30 a.m. It's midnight UK time. They play on Wednesday and there. But yeah, exactly. We'll see what is what, but there definitely won't be the main guys, so we don't know. And Brighton at home is a tricky one. Last time we played Brighton at home, we did good, but before that we lost 3-0. And it was a title decider game. One of those games where we had to win to maybe put at some pressure on City to win the title. Potentially, it was the first season we finished second. And we got done over. Generally, we got scrambled like eggs in the morning when you cook them. And that's the thing. If we don't get this window right, Arteta needs to go, Edu needs to go. Instantly. I'm already out, Arteta out. Because he has done nothing. Especially if this season he doesn't win at least 1 or 2 trophies for me. It will be even louder than before. Genuinely, it is a mad one. We are 18 days away from game against Wolves. First 11, actually 14 games in the season, we have to play all top 6 sides. Most of them are away games, mind you. Our season could be by then if we keep moving like this. Yes, you could say, I'm panicking, I'm maybe rattled or all that stuff. But I'm looking this in a perspective. Because to win Premier League, we need to do better than we did last season. Last season, we had 28 wins, 5 draws, and 5 losses. And in those one of those losses came against Villa. One of those draws came against Spurs. One of those draws came against City. One of those draws came against Liverpool. One of those losses came against Newcastle. And one of those draws came against Chelsea. And basically all these teams you just named, we play away and home and all that stuff, we lost points to last season. So if we want to win the league, we need to take points in these games. Especially City away. That is a must win. All these games are a must win, by the way. But City away especially. Because last season we drew at City and it screwed us over. Genuinely. I'm projecting into the future. How many points can we realistically expect to pick up here? You think from the first 11 games? First 11 games of the season? If you mean first 11 games of the season, then we can try and project it somehow. First 11 games of the season. Right? So, Premier League kicks off here. We should win against Wolves. Villa away. I want to say it should be a win. But at the moment, based on how we are moving in the market and how Aston Villa are moving in the market, I'm more leaning towards a draw than a win. So that's 4 points. Brighton should be winning by default. That's 7. Winning against Spurs away. We should. That's 7. That's 10 points. City away. And that is the big one. Because I want to win. I want to win at Etihad and make a statement. I don't want any more park the buses and play for a draw. Because let's be real. When we play against City, the last time we drew against them, we tried to hit them on a counter. It was working fine, actually. If we had a proper number 9 up top, like proper finisher striker, we actually could have gotten the win there. But Arteta doesn't want to sign a striker by the looks of things. So it is what it is. But realistically, I'm looking at a draw. Although Manchester City tend to start season off very slow. So there is also that hope that they might drop points to us and we might win. But I would say it's a draw. So 12 points from this. Win against Leicester, so that's 11, 14. Should be winning 17. Should be winning 20. At home, should be winning by also, so 23. Yeah, 23. Newcastle away is a must-win game as well. We should be winning because we should have won also the game we lost there. So 23 it was. I forgot already. 3, 4, 7, 10, 11, 14, 17, 20, 23, 26. We should win against Chelsea. We should win against Chelsea away because they look shambolic, I'm not gonna lie. So 26. 26? 26? Yeah, 26. So 29 points out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 29 out of 33 points. Yeah, 29 points after Chelsea away. But that is only if. This is the thing. If we are drawing against Aston Villa away, and this is solely based at the moment on the fact that Arsenal have signed nobody except Cauliflower, and we lost to Villa only because we didn't have a number 9 who could finish his dinner up front. So that's why I'm taking one there. Win, 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 win. Draw against City. If we sign a number 9, then I'm turning that draw into 3 points. Saying that now. I'm turning that draw in 23 points. In 3 points, sorry. That is the thing. But otherwise I think it might be a draw. Rest of the games are must-win games. So technically 29 out of 33 points. We lose 4 points by drawing against Villa and Manchester City. That's the thing. You say the 29 after away, 29 points after Chelsea away, I would take that. But this game, I don't want to take that. I want to win against City away. I want for us to make a statement that we are here and we're going to challenge and we're going to do whatever it takes to win the game and to win the title. Generally, I want Arteta to go sign proper midfielders, number 9, and a backup for Bukayo Saka. So when it is a draw at the, let's just say, 75th minute, we can sub on another electrifying winger. We can then play the proper number 9 up top and actually feed him the ball. Not pretend that we have proper number 9 with Kai Havertz or Gabriel Jesus up top. That is the thing. That is the big thing for me. But can draw to Villa, Newcastle. I think we're gonna beat Newcastle. At least I hope so. Especially if they sell Gordon to Liverpool, what it's rumored at the moment. Spurs, they are just Spurs. So we have done well at Spurs away recently. So I think we're gonna win there. Draw to Villa is the biggest one. City and the Villa, both of those games are the big ones for me. Because if we can turn those, if we can win against, even if we draw against City, right? We need to beat Villa in that scenario away. Because we should have won against Villa, but again, we didn't have a number 9 to finish our chances. Because we should have won the game at Villa Park, and even at Emirates, by the way, in the first half. The only difference was we didn't have a proper number 9, we had about 5-6 chances to score, and we fluffed them all. Trossard missed a shot from straight in front of the goal, he shot it straight at the goalkeeper. Genuinely, we should have won those games. Genuinely, we should have won those games. Without a striker, I don't see us scoring at St. James Park. Well, we did that 2 seasons ago. We won it 3-0, didn't we? It's possible. The thing is, who knows? That is the big part for me. Who knows how it's gonna go? That is the big question mark. But I am still believer and advocate for the fact that we need to sign a proper number 9. I'm gonna bang this tree until Arteta signs one. And I genuinely believe that it might actually not be this window, because it has all indications of that not happening. Anyways, Arsenal are in negotiations with Real Sociedad. Apparently the personal terms have been agreed upon. Arsenal are pushing. Here it is. Arsenal wanted 30 million for Edu Arteta. However, Marseille quickly made it known that they would not go that high. Moreover, the player is doing everything to make the deal happen. It can be done for 25 million with a percent on resale. I would be for that. 25 million plus sell-on clause for Edu Arteta. I'm all for it. Sell him. Sell him now. Sell him now. Take the money and run away. Sell him now. Genuinely, I'm all for it. Sell him. 25 million plus 10, 15, 20% sell-on clause. Sell him. Go get the money and sign a striker for me. That's it. Genuinely, Marseille's latest bid was close to 20 million. Just offer us 25. Take it, leave it, run away and hide and never come back. Change the bank account details and everything so they can't charge you because they tend to charge us extra. Exactly. Take the money and run away instantly and hide in the bush or whatever so they can't find you. Turn off your cell phone so there's no reception. They can't call you back, demand changing the deal, or track you by your GPS or anything. Genuinely. Yeah, exactly. Martinelli scares Newcastle. Based on how he did in preseason, especially if he does this against Liverpool as well tonight, it could be amazing. Genuinely amazing. Airplane mode. Well, pretty much so they can't call you. Genuinely, they can't find you airplane mode. And if they write you, do what other teams tend to do to Edu when he tries to negotiate transfers. Leave them on 2 blue ticks as red. Leave them on red and that's it. Move on. Swiftly move on. That's about it. It's over. Emil Smith-Rowe has completed his move to Fulham. Deal worth 34 million, 27 million plus 7 million in add-ons. The player, 23-year-old is in Portugal, meeting up with his new teammates ahead of 24-25 campaign. The announcement is imminent, so that has been done as well. Everything is done, and here is the reason why he pushed for the move. Sources have told that Emil Smith-Rowe made it clear to Arteta and Arsenal that he wanted first-team football. Obviously, Arsenal can't provide that to him because Arteta he doesn't fit the system Arteta wants to play, basically. As well, Emil Smith-Rowe is understood to still hold out hope of a call-up to England national team under a new manager leading to World Cup 2026. Bravo! He has ambition and aspirations in life. Bravo. Unlike Reece Nelson or Edu Arteta, if we didn't force to sell them, they would still sit on our bench, nicking a living of 100 grand a week away from our club. Mind you, they're still at the club, haven't been sold, so here they are. Anyways, anything new? Basically, what's said here, Bayern Munich keen on keeping Leroy Sane, Arsenal interest, nothing interesting. João Neves. Oh, this, by the way. This actually could spark something interesting. It's a rumor. I generally not a rumor. It's a thing that could happen, a possibility. Neves is here we go on a move away from Benfica to PSG. Basically, here we go. So PSG. Here we go. Dealing signed done between clubs. 60 million plus 10 million add-ons and Renato Sanchez to Benfica on loan. Right. This could mean, why the hell it opened up? This could potentially mean that we could get Fabian Ruiz. That is my controversial opinion, my hot take. That this deal, João Neves to PSG, could trigger the fact that Arsenal signed Fabian Ruiz. That is my hot take for the day. Arsenal preparing 52 million bid for a lethal striker after Star says yes to move. Who wanna guess that it's Gyökeres? Who wants to guess that it's Gyökeres? Arsenal are preparing to bid for Sporting Lisbon star Gyökeres. Yeah. Until I see it, I don't believe it. Genuinely, I do not believe it. But anyways, had a great time. I think that will be the end for today's stream, being live for an hour. The streams are getting longer by day, by the way. I've noticed they're going for 43 minutes, then up to 45, 48, 51, 53, 52, 58, and now we are over the hour mark. Obviously, I'm preparing for watch-alongs and Premier League kicks off, so subscribe, like, and do all that good stuff, so we are prepared for that as well. Definitely gonna do those. Wolves against Arsenal, first game of the season. Definitely gonna do a watch-along for that, prepared, and also have a vacation from work for 2 weeks, which means I can do everything. Yeah, I broke our mark, according to, well, almost an hour live, genuinely. Well, for me it says hour 34, but until I went live it could be very close. Definitely, yeah, almost breaking our mark. But yeah, for me, that will be it today. Some massive Arsenal news, some massive stuff to talk about. I love this discussion about Josh Kroenke. It's a very interesting one. It's a very opinionated one. If you're watching this as a podcast or a playback at some point, let me know down in comments what you think. Definitely gonna interested in reading your opinions. And so I'm definitely gonna answer to them. Let me all that know down in comments below. Take care, stay safe, and as I said, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, share the thing, and all them stuff. Take care, stay safe, have a nice evening, and have a nice day tomorrow on